12 News is your local election headquarters. President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden go head-to-head tonight for the first time.
As you can imagine, the 90-minute debate in Cleveland will be somewhat different this year because of the pandemic.
12 News reporter Brandon Truitt joins us now live with what we can expect to see from both candidates tonight. Brandon?
Well, guys, it might be hard to believe there are just 35 days until the election. We're used to seeing these candidates go back and forth on Twitter, but tonight they will be meeting face-to-face.
The stage is set, the debate topics selected. Tonight, the first of 3 debates between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
I am looking very forward to the debate.
I'm prepared to go out and make my case as to why I think he's failed.
The debate is split into 6 15-minute sections, focusing on the candidates' records, the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence in our cities, and the integrity of the election. 12 News political analyst Joe Fleming on why the debate on the economy might stick out to voters here.
They're very concerned about that. We have high unemployment in this area. So they're going to look at both these candidates with the economy. If we didn't have the COVID pandemic, the economy would be the #1 issue right now.
After the debate, there will be a lot of talk about who wins and who loses. Fleming saying the candidates are narrowly focused on a key demographic: undecided voters. A recent NBC Wall Street Journal poll shows that just 10% of eligible voters say they have yet to make up their minds. That's half the amount this time in 2016.
Like 87 to 90% of the voters in this country have already decided who they're voting for. So it's a small sliver of voters who are undecided. He has to play to those voters.
This week's bombshell reporting from the New York Times on the president's taxes almost certainly will be discussed. Fleming says the question is, will it move the needle one way or another?
Again, the question is, how does that affect that small group of voters? The income tax question is not going to move voters away from Donald Trump that are already supporting him. It's those middle voters that really 10, 12% of voters who haven't decided at this point. Is that going to have any effect on them?
So the first debate is usually the most watched, but get this, nearly 100 million people are expected to tune in tonight. That includes TV and online. That is how many people watched the Super Bowl this year. Live in Providence, Brandon Truitt, 12 News.
Now at 6, your local election headquarters looking ahead to tonight's presidential debate. President Donald Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden arrived in Cleveland just a short time ago for their first of 3 face-offs. 12 News reporter Brandon Truitt talked to our political analyst about both candidates' strategies for tonight and joins us live.
Well, Shannon, there is expected to be a Super Bowl-sized crowd watching tonight. 100 million people expected to either watch on TV or online. All of this coming with just 35 days until the election.
The countdown is on. The nation just 3 hours away from the first debate between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden. The candidates say they've been preparing a 90-minute commercial-free debate spanning a number of topics.
I think this year it's a lot more clearer.
12 News political analyst Joe Fleming says he's watching for 3 key things: how Biden comes across to viewers, how the former VP handles attacks from the president, and how the president responds to the issue of his taxes, referring to this week's bombshell report from the New York Times.
The president in the past has said, I'll be glad to release my tax returns once the audit's over. The audit's been going on now for 4.5 years. I want to see if he stays with that line tonight or if he comes up with something different.
Fleming says although a record number of people are expected to tune in, both candidates are narrowing in on the same demographic: undecided voters. A recent poll shows there are less undecided voters this election compared to this time in 2016, making it harder for both candidates to gain ground.
A lot of voters have decided early. They know Donald Trump. They either like Donald Trump or they don't like Donald Trump. And if they don't like Donald Trump, they're going with Joe Biden. So we're down to a small group of voters.
Tonight's debate, the latest effort to move the needle with Election Day quickly approaching.
So you have to keep in mind, this debate is coming at a time when much of the country is already casting ballots. 27 states have already begun mail-in or early voting. Live in Providence, Brandon Truitt, 12 News.
Thank you, Brandon. Your local election headquarters has you covered for tonight's debate. Watch it live starting at 9 right here on WPRI 12. And stay tuned for reaction and analysis on 12 News at 11.
Coming tomorrow, our newest 12 on 12 digital original, Atypical Election. Whether you plan to vote by mail or in person in November, we have the important information you need to know ahead of Election Day. Atypical Election debuts tomorrow at 5 on WPRI.com and the WPRI 12 News app.